Happy New Year and welcome to 2018 YouTube. This is Jeff with Jeff's Toy Reviews, and today I wanted to kick off the new year right, being January 1st, and go ahead and give you my opinion of my top 10 favorite purchases of 2018 and some disappointments and a couple of honorable mentions as well along the way. So to get started, I just wanted to let you know that these are the rules for me. Rule 1 is that I basically own these figures. These are all figures that I own currently. They're not figures that I owned and sold, but these are figures that I actually own. Rule 2 is they are all purchased in 2017. Now, if somebody came out in 2016 and I picked them up in 2017 because I bought them in 2017, that still counts for me. And third, and most important, this is just my opinion. If it doesn't reflect yours, or if you have a different list, that's great. I would actually like to see it. If you have some comments you want to make and things that you feel should have been in different places, let me know. I would love to have a dialogue with you. It's great. I love knowing what people found very intriguing and very exciting, especially for this past year. This year had a lot of ups and downs in the Transformers third-party universe for me. There were some great figures that came out that I was really excited for, and then when I got them in hand, there were big letdowns, or when I got them in hand, there was a figure that okay, I'm really looking forward to it. I got it in hand. I was like, oh my God, this is a really awesome figure. So I will go over all those points and more, hopefully, during this review. So let's get this started, and we'll go ahead and get this started. Excuse me, I lost my train of thought. Get this started with my, I only have 2 major disappointments this year. I will go ahead and get those out of the way. Then I'll go into my honorable mentions. And from there, we'll just go ahead and go into the top 10. All right. Thanks for watching. And here we go with my top 10, or my disappointments for 2017. All right, now for my disappointments of 2017, it's kind of odd that both figures came from Toy World. Now, because Toy World brought us Constructor, which was, I think, number 2 on my list last year, number 2 or 3. And I was so excited when I saw that they were doing their own version of Jazz, which is Coolsville here. And then, of course, their version of Optimus Prime, Priorion. These guys, were big letdowns for me. Only really, the transformation is completely ridiculous for this figure. The eyes are only light piped, so when they're black when, depending on where you have them in your home or where you have them displayed. And if you don't have any lights behind them, those eyes don't pop. The only reason the eyes are even popping right now is because the lights I have are reflecting through. He's a solid figure, don't get me wrong. He's hefty, he's heavy and everything, but these panels fall out when you try to switch them and turn them around so that they're blank, so they're just red. They pop off all the time. These the plastic pieces that have the insignia on them, those pop off all the time. His overall transformation it's not fun, it's a chore. He has a weird hip joint here that actually will fling his legs forward instead of when you try to move him forward at the hip, this will come forward here. So he's got this weird double hip joint thing. It's kind of odd. I don't even mind the fact that he looks flat because he reminds me of the MPO1 or the MPO4 a little bit. I like that look for what they were doing here, and I was really excited to get this figure. I got him out of the box, and I was like, okay. And then when I tried to transform him, and things started popping off, and I just wasn't enthusiastic. I did do a review, and he was okay. I think in my review is what I came out with. If you have a lot of primes, pass. Just really pass on him. Coolsville from Toy World, I thought was going to be great because it's another Jazz, and Jazz is an awesome character. And this guy does have some good die cast and everything, and he's posable, but his transformation has a lot to be desired. And the one thing that really sold this figure for me to be one of the biggest disappointments for purchases this year is you cannot tab in his doors. People have told me, oh, you can file them down, you can shape them a little bit, oh, you're doing this wrong. And I've tried to do everything that I've been told, and except shaving them down. I don't want to shave them down. I shouldn't have to shave them down. I know that's just me. It's probably me being a little too picky. And again, it's my opinion. But the fact that you transform this guy into his Porsche mode, and then you can't close the doors, they don't tab into place, that's bad. That's really bad. Now, I do know Zeta Toys is releasing their version of Jazz, and Zeta Toys is a lot of the designers from Toy World, and they look to be the exact same figure, but I'm hoping that they fix the door issue. If they fix the door issue and they've made all the little changes that should have been done to begin with, who knows? I might wind up getting it, but I'm not going to do anything until I see those reviews. So these are my two biggest disappointments of 2017. And honorable mentions. Now, so here are my honorable mentions. I have 3, and the reason why these 3 figures did not make it onto the top 10, did not go up higher or anything. I'll start with RC. RC came out as an exclusive for the San Diego. Was it the San Diego Comic-Con or HasCon, I believe? And she looks great. I love what they did with the paint. I love the how they reused the blur mode, and then they altered like her shoulders and everything. Looks really nice figure. However, her head, if you start to turn it, pops off because the Titan Master gimmick's head is too thin, and I have tried as well to go with what other people are saying, and that just happens for me with this figure. It's just the way it goes. And she is a remold, albeit a great retool of Blur and Brainstorm, and I think she looks great. I like her car mode. I love the paint, the sculpt they did. She just didn't make it for my top 10. That's all. Still a great figure if you can get her. Apache, Fans Toys Apache and Fans Toys Coot. These guys are fantastic looking figures. I mean, if you look at them, they are great looking. They look great on the shelf. They're very posable. They're highly articulated. But that being said, as a triple changer, his helicopter mode is fantastic. His car mode has a lot to leave desired. I just don't know. His car mode, it looks awkward. It looks kind of weird and elongated and doesn't look right. Another thing is there's these small little pegs that are back here in his legs. So when you're transforming and everything, you have to do all this accordion style stuff. One of those tabs broke off, like in the first transformation, and I don't force transformations. I don't force pieces to happen, but one of them broke, and I was like, okay, that's not good. But other than that, he's a great figure. If his car mode looked better, he would have definitely been higher spot in my top 10. Definitely would have, because he looks great. And for Coot is awesome looking. He is a great cup. He's got good die cast and everything, but he has a little bit of stability issues with his feet, which is, it's all about how you pose him and what you do with them. His transformation is something that I just wasn't a fan of. There's a lot of clearance issues, a lot of things that kind of irritated me during transformation. And I've been given the advice of like, oh, you can remove this tab, you should check out this website. And I did, and I don't want to alter these figures. I don't want to cut tabs out. I don't want to do something that the manufacturer should have done. So although these 3 are fantastic looking figures, they look great on the shelf, they pose well, they look great, again, as I just said, there is just that one thing that's lacking that doesn't put them in the top 10 for me. So again, my opinion, but they do look great on the shelf. All right, so getting the list, my top 10 started off right. Perfect Effects Kit number 16, body piece Optimus Prime. Now, this is really cool because Perfect Effects puts out all these great upgrade kits for different figures and everything. And what they did is they came out with an actual figure to coincide and go with your Power Master Optimus Prime, be it the Takara Tomy version, the Hasbro version, or even the Siege on Cybertron version, which I have in the back there. Now he transforms into a truck, and he also attaches himself as the cab with a head and everything for your Power Master Prime. This guy was such a great surprise because I was thinking, oh, it's just going to be a regular upgrade piece. Yeah, it's going to be a figure. This guy's highly articulated. He's got great paint apps. His colors are great. They match the Hasbro and Takara version, go either way. And he's a great figure. He's got his hands do remove. He's got alternate hands that are open palm hands. He does come with a blaster rifle. Those are put away at the moment because I do have him attached as my Power Master body. So this is was such a nice surprise, and he's fun to transform. He's interesting to look at, and that's why he's at my number 10. So a great way to start out this top 10. Number 9 for me is Downbeat by Make Toys. This figure is excellent. Now, I did buy the Repro Label set and tricked him out a little bit, but I think he looks great. He's fantastic. He transforms really smooth. He's got excellent articulation. He looks great on the shelf. You can have the doors up, you can have them down. He doesn't have this huge, monstrous backpack that some other figures have had this year. And he looks fantastic. He's very stable. Got a nice little bit of die cast in his legs. Definitely the thighs are die cast, and just a really cool looking Jazz. Fantastic that he came out. I love the head sculpt that they gave him, the nice reflective visor. Just this is G1 Jazz for me until a Masterpiece Jazz comes out. This guy is fantastic. Highly recommend him if you don't have him. He's only fell short in a couple little areas for me, and it's not even the fact that he fell short. He's a fantastic figure. There's just a few figures that came out that were a little bit better than him this year, so that's why Make Toys Downbeat is as my number 9. For my number 8 on my top 10 list is Generation Toy Op-X, their version of an IDW Optimus Prime. Now, he is fantastic. I love the light up feature in the eyes. I like his posability. His joints are fantastic. A couple issues with the instructions where I mistransformed a few things, but thanks to other few people on the internet pointing them out and helping me out with it, they wound up being perfect. Just a great figure overall. When it comes to his aesthetics, for his truck mode, he looks great, and for his robot mode, I think he looks fantastic. But his joints are kind of loose out of the box. So you got to watch the feet a little bit, and he's a little fiddly in the legs. His arm joint gets a little loose on the right arm. But he's still a good figure, and I put him up here because I really love the way he looks. I love the transformation. The transformation is fun. The way he looks is really cool. He's Optimus Prime, and I like the light up feature in the eyes. I mean, yeah, when his eyes aren't on, they look dark, but at least you have the option to turn on his eyes, and they light up, and they look really cool. And I mean, the body sculpt is fantastic. I mean, he looks great. I mean, he is an IDW Optimus Prime. And he has good die cast in the thighs. He has die cast in the feet. That's nice, but it's just some of his joints just feel a little loose. But he holds his poses well. And he's just knocked him over. He's just in my top 10 for just being so dang good looking. So he's my number 8. And why not? Look at him. He looks good. All right, for my number 7 spot, I have Generation Toy. Wow, little theme going on here. Generation Toys Tyrant. Now, this is their version of an IDW Megatron. This is the Stealth Bomber Megatron. And I gotta tell you, I mean, I think they knocked it out of the park with this guy. The only reason he's not higher up on the list is because there's a few other figures that came out that just beat out this guy's little imperfections that he has. But he's a really cool figure. The things that I don't really like about him is his arm. He does have limited movement in his arms because of these big panels, so he can't even get a full 90 degrees. He can do that with his wrist, which just looks kind of weird to me, but but I do like the figure a lot. His joints are tight. He balances well. He's got the light up eye feature as well as Op X, and he just, I mean, he looks incredible. He's got very nice, just great articulation for the most part is really good, except I really don't like the fact that he's got the limited elbows. He does have nice ratchets. He balances well. He's a really good figure. The price is a little high. I think they should have come down a little bit. I think they could have done that for both OpEx and for Tyrant. I think the prices were just a little too out there. But for what you get out of the box, including a flight stand and the figure himself, he turns into a huge bomber. Really, really nice. Transformation is intuitive. It's fun. It's not something, though, that I would do all the time. I do like him in his robot mode, and I try to mess with him to get more poses. But, even that gets limited sometimes. So, Generations Toys Tyrant is at my number 7. Number 6 is Transformission's Powertrain. Now, I really like this figure. No die casting at all. He's a lot of plastic and everything, but he's fun to transform. He's got really cool articulation. He's a big bot. He scales with MP10. He's a masterpiece motor master, and I really like this guy. He's nice detailing throughout. He's got good ankle rockers and good ratcheted joints, and just a really cool representation of a masterpiece motor master. And I really like him on the shelf with my other Decepticons. He looks fantastic. Excuse me, I just moved my table. That's why he's wobbling. But, I was just blown away with this figure. I thought when I got him, I was like, okay, he's going to be like the other Stunticons. They were pretty cool. And then I got him in hand, and the size of his truck mode, the transformation from truck to his robot mode is fantastic. The accessories he comes with, all the trailer pieces that come out to form Havoc, just really, really look fantastic in my opinion. I think they're great. I think they came out they did a great job. Transformation, 2 thumbs up. There's only a couple of things that with Havoc, their combined mode, that I had issues with, so that's why he didn't quite make it a little higher on the list. But other than that, he's a great figure. If you're looking in the market for the Stunticons and you want a masterpiece style Stunticons, definitely check out Transformission and look at their Havoc line. These Stunticons look great. Number 5 is Transformission's Revolt, or They're Not Drag Strip. Now, he actually beats out the Powertrain and their version of Dead End that came out this year, Overturn. Really, because his transformation is fun. The entire transformation from car mode to robot mode and back again is fun. It's intuitive. It's interesting, and he looks great. I mean, he looks like a masterpiece drag strip. He's very sturdy. He's got good articulation, nice rubber tires like all the others have. Everything folds away really nice and well. I just really like the way he came out. There were a few figures that did beat him out, but to be in the number 5 as, a third-party Stunticon figure, number 5, is a great place to be. This figure is incredible. This version of Drag Strip that Transformation put out has made me really happy and really look forward to what Transformation is doing, because I do know that they're working on their Protectobots now, so can't wait to see what those guys come up with for them. So that's why he's at my number 5. Great articulation, fantastic paint, looks incredible on the shelf, and he transforms. He's fun. That's why he's number 5. My number 4 spot actually goes to Takara Tomy, Transformers Masterpiece M4 movie masterpiece Optimus Prime. I was actually going to tie him with Bumblebee, their movie masterpiece Bumblebee as well, but upon re-review of looking at them both, I really like this figure a lot more than Bumblebee. I like the details that they've added to him, the posability. They both have great posability, but there's something just about this Prime that I like a lot. It's very reminiscent of my 2016 winner. And he looks really good. The transformation is a little fiddly, but it's still a solid figure. Yeah, there's some issues in the hood, with the hood and the front of the cab in transformation, but I still really like this guy a lot. He did sneak past a few others, like people on my further up on the list or higher in the, towards the top 10. But I really like the paint, I like the die cast, I like the posability, the colors are vibrant. He looks really good. He's a great looking figure. He's decent. And if you haven't picked him up, I know Toys R Us still has him on the shelf sometimes. If you can get him, get him. I wouldn't pay a lot for him. I wouldn't pay over $150 for him. But yeah, he's definitely worth the Toys R Us price if you can get him for that. So, which I think was $99. So, very good figure. Highly recommend. And yeah, that's why MPM4 is my number 4. All right, my number 3 spot goes to Fans Toys Phoenix. Their version of not Masterpiece Transformers Skyfire. This guy stands at the top of the backpack at 15 inches tall, top of his head 14 inches. He's got really good articulation, except for in the feet, but I just really like the overall aesthetic. They captured Jetfire perfectly for me. This guy is huge. He's got die cast, nice little details here and there, fully posable fingers, cool weapon, just overall beefy, big, sturdy figure. And I'm really happy I got this guy in the collection. He came out earlier in 2017. I'm not sure how many people have added them to their list because he did come out so early, but he is really, really nice. He's got some great articulation. He's got nice ratcheting joints to support him. Big, beefy backpack. This is one of the things that kind of just kept him out of the top 10 for me, but it does condense really well considering how big it looked in the cartoon. He's just, I don't know, he looks almost like a, he looks like he's from the cartoon. His transformation was actually very intuitive. Fans Toys did a great job with that. Overall, this figure is a must-have if you do not have a Jetfire / Skyfire in your collection. I would highly recommend this guy. That's why he's at my number 3. At my number 2 spot is Masterpiece, Takara Tomy Masterpiece MP36, Megatron version 2.0. And this guy is incredible. And the only reason he's at number 2 is because the figure that's at number 1 for me won my heart quicker and earlier on. And this guy is nice, good die cast. Transformation is a little weird the first time you do it, but once you get used to it, you don't get so scared. At least I don't get so scared when transforming him anymore. He's a very cool figure, looks fantastic on the shelf, amazing in almost every way. I do not like the backpack area, and a lot of people have said the same thing. That's another reason that kept him out of my number 1. And I know he's going to be number 1 for quite a few people, but that backpack was just a little too much for me, just a little too ugly. So, but other than that, You really can't go wrong with Takara Tomi's masterpiece MP36 2.0. He's fantastic. He is a must-have for your collection because you need somebody to battle MP10. So, and he does. He looks fantastic. They look great together on the shelf. Highly recommend. And my number one pick for 2017 came out in January of 2017 and could not be beat, and that is Fans Toys Sovereign. This guy is amazing for his size. He is highly articulate. I mean, he could be put in anything. He's posable. He's fits perfect with the masterpiece scale. He's got die cast everywhere. He comes with the matrix of leadership on a chain. His purple is glossy and he is beefy and sturdy. I have no issues with this guy whatsoever. Fans Toys knocked it out of the park, opening right up in January of 2017. So I can't wait to see what 2018 holds. This guy is amazing. I highly recommend him if you can get him. I do know that they are reissuing him. Some places online are taking pre-orders for the reissue. This guy is a must-have. If you are a Transformers 1986 movie fan and you're waiting for that perfect Galvatron to get, this guy is it. Sovereign is amazing. This was a perfect way to start in 2017, and he's just my number one pick. All right, and there you have it, folks. This is my top 10 Transformers masterpiece third-party figures for 2017. These guys blew me away throughout the year. Other figures would come in, they would come close, and they would fall to the wayside. Unfortunately, for some, great for others. I mean, there were some figures that are fantastic that did come out this year, but looking at these guys here, I really cannot think of another figure that really comes up and holds a candle to these guys. Now, I do know that Sunstreaker just came out, MP39, and I don't own him yet, or he'd be in this list because I've seen a lot of things on him. He is one of my favorite Autobots, so he is going to be a 2018 purchase for me. So that's why you don't see him on this list. I do know he made it onto a few others, but I am glad to say and happy to see these figures all are on my top 10. They are all fantastically done in their own right. They have great articulation, fantastic paint. Some of them are really fun to transform. Some just look fantastic, and the sculpts are perfect, and others enhance the figures that they attach to. So I am very happy to see that Fans Toys, Takara Tomy, and Hasbro wound up making it up there. Make Toys is up here, Perfect Effects, Generation Toys, Transformission is up here, represented well. So thank you all for watching. Some fantastic figures that came out in 2017. If you don't have any of these, I believe I've reviewed all of these figures, so you could check my my video history. And I know that 2018 is going to be a big year for Transformers as well. So I can't wait to see what's coming. Thank you again for watching. And again, this has been Jeff with Jeff's Toy Reviews, my top 10 2018. Have yourselves a happy new year, everybody.